Hello everybody, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the new announcement about the Warhammer Fantasy, the Old World, the base news article. So in today's article, Old World Development Diary on bases and the Barons of Bretonia. So this article is basically about how they're bringing back classic Bretonia models and they're going to be on bigger bases. So a model like this would have been on a 25 by 50 millimeter base, but now it looks like it's, from what I'm guessing, I'm assuming it's going to be on like a 30 by 60 millimeter base. And basically, almost every model from the original range is going to have a bigger base by about 5 millimeters. So 20 millimeter models are going to be on 25 millimeter, and 25 millimeter models are going to be on 30. Well, they haven't said what size the 25 millimeter models are going to be on, but I'm assuming 30, but I could be wrong. And here we can see, classic infantry that would normally be on a 20 millimeter base on a 25, and it looks pretty good so far. I'm not opposed to it, and I think this solves a lot of problems with fantasy in general. Here we go with some more pictures, and hopefully this will give the models a chance to breathe. And I think it'll look better on some models and maybe a little worse on other models depending on how big they are and how they fit on that size of a base, but it's still too early to tell. But I think overall this is going to be a good thing, and I don't really want to read the whole article, but it basically just says that the base is getting bigger, and you can keep your models on whatever bases you want, but for like competitive play it's going to be like the standard is going to be like the 25 millimeter plus. So first thing to note is that with this image, we can see the return of the lands formation, which was in a much older edition of Fantasy. This was before I got into the game, but I just think it's nice to see a throwback. And I think it'll be easier to accomplish with these bigger bases, because I know these are some of the biggest horse models that in the range. Like they're way bigger than like Empire horses or Chaos horses. That's like Bretonnian horses. So the fact that they can kind of rank up together like this, I think is a big improvement, and it's good to see, because I think it just gives so much more flexibility, and you'll have models like knocking each other over and just like millimeters away from each other. So like I said before, I think it gives everything a little bit of a chance to breathe. Although I think a possible downside could be that every unit has a bigger footprint, so maybe that means less room to maneuver. So, but I think the optics and immersion is what they're going for. So I think overall it seems like it's going to be a good thing. And this is really going to be a great thing in the hobby, because I know one of the biggest annoyances I think I and most other people have with fantasy was, trying to get all the models to rank up, and especially bigger models with like flailing limbs or spears or dynamic poses, and you really had to like plan out very carefully where each model went in the regiment, or else they would knock over another model, or they just wouldn't fit in, or you had to really like finagle it, and it was really annoying. So, and models like this in particular and some others were notorious for just being really hard to assemble and have them rank up, and yeah, it's a big problem. And I think they said in the article that originally the models were smaller, like in the earlier editions, so it made sense for them to be on like the 20 and 25 millimeter bases. But as the years went on, the models got bigger, but the bases stayed the same. So I think now is probably the best time to refresh the whole range and just give everything a bigger base. So, but the models are going to stay the same size, or the same scale. So that means hopefully this will be much less of an issue. And I know on cavalry is an even bigger issue, especially for these guys. These guys are so close together, it looks really awkward in my opinion. But I think a bigger base would really suit them. And another thing I'm really excited for is that since all the Age of Sigmar models are kind of a bit bigger and more dynamic poses, that means that it seems logical that you could put the Age of Sigmar models on these 25 millimeter bases, and have them work, because these are, for all intents and purposes, fantasy models. They're squig hoppers. So, these were invented in fantasy, so it makes sense for the newer models, which I really like, to be in the old world. And now they can be, because 25 millimeters is the standard. And it seems like these wouldn't really fit on a 20 millimeter base, but they seem to work on a 25. So this isn't my work. This is someone else studio, Jolly Roger. But yeah, this is really exciting, and I think it'd be really nice to see a lot of the Age of Sigmar models that have their roots in fantasy converted to the bigger base size, and have them look decent. So that way, there can be a lot more backwards compatibility. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like this? Do you think this is a good thing, a bad thing? Maybe you have the whole army in the smaller bases and you're frustrated, but we'd love to hear your opinion. Thanks for your time, and I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.